Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm Scott Ramp.
And I'm your host, Noelle McAvoy. Hello, everyone. And it is Wednesday, halfway through the week. Woo!
Yes, and that was Asaph. What were you playing, Asaph?
Yeah.
It is a song called Tiny Bubbles.
Tiny Bubbles.
That's nice. That's
and we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, cool. So another thing that's happening is the weather.
Of course.
And
Weather's always happening.
I wonder whether or not the weather is going to be warmer. And it is going to be warmer later this week, but there's a 30% chance of snow happening today.
Uh-oh.
But tonight it's going to be mostly clear with lows in the 24 degrees. But currently it is 36 degrees outside. It's a nice day to walk into work with a nice medium jacket. Thursday is going to be high of 63, and you can expect Friday to get as high as 70. So we're breaking the 70s.
Nice.
Which would be cool.
Yeah, and then it looks like it's going to be high 60s.
Some showers this weekend. Mm-hmm. Sunday is again going to be sunny, but who knows? Everything usually gets shifted.
That's true. No weather stays the same in Montana. Yeah. So that looks
just keep up to date.
Keep going out there.
We'll tell you how it changes on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But let's talk about what's trending.
Yeah.
So these are some of the items that are
videos.
Yeah, very interesting trending videos for sure.
Yes.
But first, I want to talk about what everyone's been Googling and searching for: Piercy Sledge, Real Madrid, and the Pony Express. It's the 155th anniversary of the Pony Express.
Oh, cool.
Which I don't think they've done the Pony Express for.
No. 150 years.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a company taking that name, the Pony Express, and just kind of like capitalizing on it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like the original Pony Express
hasn't been done in so long.
And it has been dead for like
That's
130 years.
Yeah. Well, do you know when like postmasters or like a post office was like established?
Was
it
after Ben Franklin?
Always? Okay, so post offices were always established. Yeah. So I guess, other modes of transportation.
Actually, Ben Franklin was a library. I think mail was constant.
Yeah, mail was always constant. I don't know.
I don't know. Like they had a letter, people would write letters to each other. It's like, I wrote you a ledger.
Ledger.
And they had like their royal seal. It's like, take this scroll.
And then they got
this scroll
3 months
over
later.
To Queen Cleopatra or whatever.
Like crazy gal. But it was like a year old because they had to take boats and trains, no trains and horses.
There's here is one of the trending videos. One of my coworkers, Sam, he told me all about this kid whose skin is so sensitive that even a slight touch would cause blisters and rashes.
Oh my gosh.
And I have a little video made by TSN, but I'm just going to show you.
Not TSA, TSN.
And it's about a 14-year-old boy, Jonathan Pitre, from Russell, Ontario, so he's Canadian.
Oh.
So here is a little snippet of the butterfly child.
Any friction causes blisters on Jonathan's body. Eating causes blisters inside his throat. It's an existence 14-year-old Jonathan has known his entire life.
Our little pleasures of life, he doesn't have that. He can't join into the gym. He can't play any sports.
Has he always loved sports?
He has. He's just getting more and more addicted to them. He says it's in his DNA.
There was always something about hockey that intrigued me and, just the physical aspect of the game.
The Senators are your favorite?
Local team, you gotta go for them.
What position did you see yourself playing?
Center. I've always been not the scoring type like Ovechkin. I'm more of a Crosby type. I see the ice well.
When he was younger, Jonathan tried playing ball hockey, and in recent years has attempted sledge hockey.
Hey, he's moving. Hey, good job, bud.
But the recovery from each sport became too much to handle. Did it drive you crazy that you couldn't play?
Well, it kept me awake at night. Jeez, for the longest time. I dreamed of it. Some mornings I woke up and I was playing the game and scoring and stuff. And when I woke up, I was like, oh, can I go back to sleep? Skip school today?
Yeah. So, and the idea being the kid, every time he would play the sports, they'd wrap him in bandages.
Yeah.
And every time they would start wrapping him in bandages, it would cause him immense pain.
Oh, that poor little thing.
Yeah.
He's so sweet too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna change.
Okay.
I usually switch gears. These are the trending videos, and this is like an intense change. So this is about a bear looking for honey, and then he gets swarmed by a bunch of bees. And this is the best way to describe it because it gets a little intense after a while. All right, so here it is. Okay, I'm just gonna show that part because it gets really out of control. But that's trendy. That almost has 10 million views on YouTube, and that was published on April 12th. It's just like, wow.
Interesting.
Okay. So this next video is ridiculous. There's a runner, and he starts celebrating before he finishes the finish line, and this is just so awesome to watch. You gotta check this out.
Take my word for it, there's a moral to this story.
Yeah, it looked like a coronation for Tonche Pepio. He's getting the crowd. He wants the crowd to cheer his performance, and at the end he gets pipped. He gets pipped by Marin Simon of Washington. And you just can't do this kind of stuff, Lewis.
You can, and you see his face, and no one has to say anything. They don't have to explain it to him. He'll never make that mistake again.
Okay, so yeah.
That's what you get for gloating.
That's what you get.
Don't gloat. Just run. Otherwise, the guy behind you is going to be like, oh, he's gloating.
Okay, we only have one brand new program tonight, and it is the Presidential Lecture Series, and that's happening tonight at...
Part what?
Let me double check. It's part 6. President Lecture Series happening tonight at 8:30 p.m. And Ron Scholl shot this from MCAT, and you too can get your stuff filmed by MCAT, or you can become a part of MCAT and rent our equipment to shoot your events, all by calling us at 542-6228, or you can email us mcat@mcat.org. You can also go to our website, mcat.org, and find out all the information about how to get involved and all sorts of wonderful things. But without further ado, this is a little tease of what's happening tonight on MCAT.
Commerce had existed within the interstices of traditional societies for centuries, whereas industry dramatically reshaped where and how people worked. Factories replaced the home and the shop as work sites. They involved long hours of disciplined labor, unlike farming with its bouts of effort at planting and harvesting. As life became less precarious, the invasive authority of fathers, magistrates, and kings slowly faded. Call for greater political participation, religious toleration, and personal mobility grew louder.
All right, and that's what's happening tonight on MCAT.
That seems really interesting.
Channel 189, 8:30 p.m. I don't know what PM stands for. Do you know what PM stands for?
Past midnight?
Past midnight?
After midnight? Let's see.
No, it's not past midnight because midnight is coming up on PM, isn't it?
I don't remember. No, midnight is AM. 12 a.m.
No, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. and so 8 p.m.
I don't know.
So do you want to see the video from the past now, or should we wait until...
Yeah, let's see the video from the past.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a clip.
We have
90s city council.
Yeah, this is about the time when the city council decided to cut the funding for MCAT back in the early 90s, and between 90 and 95, there are a lot of shows on MCAT that were very liberal, and in those days it was tough. I mean, even seeing $1,000 was like almost impossible in those days. But MCAT got over $100,000 in those days.
Yeah.
And they deferred about they deferred 75% of the fund to the city.
Oh wow.
At that time. So yeah, here's some clips. It's so crazy because the city council right now is so like liberal, all holding hands and they agree on everything. Like only thinking about it, 25 years ago, everyone was conservative. They didn't want to change anything.
Interesting.
And they're really tight with the budget. Oh. And it was like completely flip-flopped. And everyone complaining to the city council was all like super liberal. And like everything on MCAT was all about complaining. And it was serious.
It was just like an outlet to get your anger out.
Yeah, exactly. And this is interesting. You might see some recognizable faces that are still around today.
You might even see yourself.
25 years ago.
At the city council.
But this is okay. So here is a little taste of MCAT's history, coming up to, in 1 week is our 25th anniversary of Missoula Community Access Television, celebrating our 25th year. Come on down to MCAT between 4 and 8 p.m. and we have hors d'oeuvres. We're going to be doing it live and doing a great time. Asaph is going to be wearing a tux, apparently.
Joel made that possible.
Nice.
He rented a tux for me to
cool.
do the music for you guys.
Are you
on
gonna
that
play
day.
on the piano?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have fun.
All right,
Cool.
without further ado, here is MCAT, City Council of the past.
I say to you, Mayor Cadis, grow a spine. Tell all of these bongo-beating left-wing criminals they are not welcome to ruin our fair city and destroy the shared pride our community has.
MCAT makes and the city makes. It's a very open-ended proposal because it includes the ability to negotiate, which has not happened yet.
Back to committee and discuss what you want in it.
I just assumed that it would go back to committee.
Not with your motion as I understand it.
I'm sorry.
I watch MCAT, and I know a lot of people who do, but I don't claim to be able to quantify the number of people in Missoula who do watch MCAT.
There's way too much abrasiveness towards staff. And we have to respect everybody's opinion in here, whether we agree with them or not.
We're hearing that loud and clear, the message that has been shared and perhaps rejected.
We're very confused to hear, after we had just purchased our home, thinking that the neighborhood would remain the same, which is one reason that we bought it, is we like the neighborhood as it is. It apparently isn't going to be kept the same, and it is really disappointing.
Important, you're on record as saying that MCAT is not the community access facility here. Could you expand upon your remarks, please?
No, I didn't say it wasn't the facility. Again, I said MCAT is not the community access channel. The community access channel is a channel that's provided for community access. It could be represented by MCAT or another group.
I see. What was the purpose then of that distinction that you drew for us?
Well, because I believe it's been continually misrepresented. And by the way, I feel this is inappropriate to be grilled by a member of the public on camera when this particular issue has already been resolved.
And I'd urge the City Council to throw this back to the planning boards and do whatever you have to do to tweak these, which we were promised would come along at some point.
The city to negotiate their differences with MCAT, and I would urge you to support the negotiation, the route to negotiation. After this grueling RFP process, it's time to negotiate an extension to MCAT's contract, and let's work out the differences, not totally scrap this RFP process.
Thank you, Will. The question has been called for, and so I'm going to restate the motion. Bob, will you restate the motion for me, please?
I'd be willing, or more willing to go longer if there were more time in the year, but that isn't the case, so I think this is really responsible.
Here tonight to speak on behalf of the Missoula Community Access Television, and at this time I'd like everybody else that's here to speak on behalf of MCAT to rise so that the council will get an idea of just how many people have arrived tonight that are concerned about this issue.
While it may be legitimate for the council to fund these projects, several of which I personally cannot support with my taxes, I feel that it is questionable for the council to appropriate cable access fees for the general fund when these fees were intended for the purpose of improving media access for the citizens of Missoula.
MCAT is going to be the only vehicle that's going to get your meetings carried. I mean, and I would think that you'd want them carried. If you don't, then I'm curious as to what kind of representatives we have.
Through Access TV in Missoula, I organized the first live call-in show on MCAT, Labor Vision. I co-produced this show with Mike Fellows. Labor Vision covers rank and file issues and interacts with the viewers.
All right, there's all your history of some city council, and it was so like, oh man, it was intense back in those days. It was like, why should we fund MCAT? It's like, why don't we just keep all the money from the cable company franchise fees? And MCAT was just like, well, the only reason you're getting money from the cable company is for the sake of the media access center.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take
You wouldn't get the money
a
otherwise.
big chunk of you already take a big chunk of the money as is. But after a while, it got negotiated a little differently, and now it's like 60-40 rather than like 75-25.
That's good.
But things were like pretty intense because it was the first 5 years. City council was like, I don't think MCAT's doing that well anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean.
But look at us now.
Well, right now, when no one really complains about it, it's kind of like I think it's not like one of those like burn out. It's not going to necessarily burn out. It's going to kind of fade away.
No, it's not.
Maybe. Who knows?
No, it's not. I don't think so. No, I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't think so.
I don't know. But yeah, it's some good footage.
It is some good footage. Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't done some social networking. Should we talk a little bit about where you can find out more information?
Social media. Yeah. So if you want to find out more information about Wake Up Missoula, you can check out our Wix page, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula.
Oh, yeah.
And we also have a Facebook page where you can check us out on there. And we have a Twitter page as well. And Missoula Community Access Television also have its own Facebook page. And you can find out more about MCAT on our website, www.mcat.org, where MCAT's 25th anniversary is happening next week.
It's our silver anniversary.
Yeah. Earth Day was the first day of MCAT's first broadcast, right?
I think Earth Day's only been really celebrated for the last, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but MCAT...
She's been around.
The first broadcast was on
April
Earth Day.
22nd,
Okay, cool.
which is where we're having our anniversary.
What was the first broadcast?
The first broadcast?
Do you know what the show was?
All I know is it's really awkward. And people were just talking, it's like, hello, welcome to MCAT. We're doing a show, and we're all live. I don't know what to do with my hands. But yeah, it's total access. It's like total community access. You know community access. It's always like...
Someone told me that our set looks really 90s.
Our set?
Yeah.
I believe that.
Well, I mean, it's awesome. He's like, I can't believe how 90s it looks.
Who said that?
Just this guy, I know. I was working on a project with him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love our show.
I love
And you all love it too.
You know what? I love my show.
It's a show you share.
Sharing is caring.
I'll beat Scott up later.
Yeah. Let's talk about events.
All right, we got some events now. Wow. So today is Wednesday, not Monday, as sometimes I think. I don't know. So this morning, starting at 8 a.m., so it already started, sorry everyone, was MDA Coffee Talk at Energetics. So this is, it was hosted by Energetics and Sustainable Business Council. This event is part of a Sustainable Business Council's move to get Missoula to zero waste. And it's a great opportunity to learn more about the month-long campaign aimed at reducing waste in Missoula. So you can still drop by, I'm sure. I bet it goes until like 9. But yeah, goes until 9. So if you are listening right now and don't want to watch our show, or you do want to watch our show, I don't know.
To zero waste?
Yeah. Whatever you guys want to do, but that's what's going on. And then so this morning is Duck Duck Goose at Zootown Church. Starts at 10 a.m. This is Missoula's largest children's consignment sale. You can buy hundreds of gently used items for kids ages infant through teen and maternity. So that's 10 a.m. at the Zootown Church today. It is National Library Week, so the bookmobile is on the run today at the Missoula Public Library. It's from 10:30 till noon. So they'll hand out goodies around town. They'll tweet and Facebook their progress from 10:30 to noon, so hop on the Missoula Public Library Facebook and check out where they are. Spectrum Discovery Area, their Discovery Bench is Bubbles, and the Brain Lab is Brains. $3.50 for anyone 4 and over. The Rice Table is going on at the Children's Museum of Missoula from 11 to 12. You can go sift, scoop, and pour in their sensory rice table. Ooh, there's a Houthini Rebellion in Yemen. This is a lecture at the University of Montana in UC room 333. And this is put on by Owen Sears, who's an adjunct professor of culture and regional studies, defense critical language, and a culture program at the Mansfield Center. And so it examines Yemen's rebellion in light of Yemen's turbulent domestic political scene, as well as its regional and international dimensions. So it concludes by exploring the future of Yemen as a viable and unified state. So this seems like it is going to be a pretty intense lecture. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Yemen right now. University of Montana, they've got their used outdoor gear sale happening today. You can drop it off between 7 and 11 and shop between 12 and 5. You can pick up unsold gear and cash payout from 6 to 7:30. It's outdoor-related equipment only. 20% of the proceeds go to the UM Outdoor Program. There is a teen artist workshop, Moving Images, at the Missoula Art Museum. This is with Michael Workman for 4 to 6. It's free. And so transmedia artist Michael Workman is going to discuss contemporary animation techniques and teach the basics of stop motion animation, which is so fun. And that's one of our summer camps here. It's a blast. Yeah, so as a group, they'll work together to create their own stop-motion animation out of found objects. They'll experiment with different techniques for displaying animation by using a digital projector to project them onto different surfaces, which that's cool. And then after class, the animations will be posted to the internet for everyone to see.
Uh-oh.
So they've got materials, pizza, and snacks, and they're all provided. Sponsored by the LEAW Family Foundation and and a radio station.
You 104.5.
So call 728-0447 if you want some more information, but it's 4 to 6 today and it's for free. So yeah, check it out if you'd like to. As always, every Wednesday they've got Sharon in the Groove celebrating music of the jam band Fish. So it's during their happy hour from 4:30, I think around to 6:30. But they have a audio show, video, more and more trivia. Yeah,
cool.
Maxwave Pint Night is what the Kettle House Northside Brewing Company, that's what their pint night is going to, is a Maxwave. 50 cents from each beer sold will go to the Maxwave. There's country dance lessons with instructor Kathleen Clark. That is at the Sunrise Saloon starting at 7 p.m. tonight. It's $5 per lesson. And that's everything that is going on Wednesday. Up next, we've got Asaph's event segment. Mm-hmm. So, what do you want to start with, Asaph?
Start the clip first.
Okay.
Which one?
Right there.
Yeah, Brady Bunch one.
Brady Bunch.
So we're switching gears.
Hey, I know who you are. No wonder he sings so good. He's Don Ho. Don who?
Don Ho.
Okay.
Okay. This time, instead of talking about a performer with his accomplishments, this is going to be more of a delightful story.
Nice.
We're talking about a singer named Donald Tai Loy, known as Don Ho.
Cool.
And he was a Hawaiian singer, pop musician, entertainer, best known for a song called Tiny Bubbles. And at that time, they played that song all over the place. Another thing that's interesting about this performer, you know how Liberace has his candelabra?
Mm-hmm.
His trademark was a big glass of champagne that they...
That's crazy.
Sooner or later, they used pineapple juice, but you'll see it on the piano there.
Yeah, I see it.
He's also associated with Bubbles, you know, because he came up at the time when Lawrence Welk was doing the Bubbles, and Don Ho was doing the Bubbles too.
Okay.
Right? Was there like any copyright problems?
No, there's no copyright issues with Bubbles.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's Tiny Bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna sing together, okay? Tiny bubble make me happy. Eat your hot lunch, make me feel fine. Tiny bubble make me warm all over with a feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time.
So what can you say? Anything else?
Yeah, he was such a delightful entertainer, and he sounded an awful lot like Dean Martin. But in short,
and that's a huge glass of champagne he's drinking.
Yeah, that was his trademark. You know, when he did his concerts, he actually had that on the piano.
Would he ever drink it all and refill it? Do you think that's an entire bottle in there?
Well, I don't know if that was real, but that's what it was known as. But because you'd be kind of wired if you drank all that.
That's what I would think too. Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, good job, Donna.
But anyway, what's interesting about him is he was married to the same woman for 48 years.
Wow.
And by Hollywood standards,
yeah, that's
that
not
is
common.
Yeah,
Good job.
and he didn't grow up to want to be a singer. He comes from a military. He was a military guy, you know, flying fighter jets. And he walks into a music store one day as an adult. And he buys an electronic keyboard, and his whole life changed.
Oh wow.
He just all of a sudden just started messing around with his keyboard, and that's how he got started. That's what he says in an interview. And then he started singing in clubs in Hawaii, and then by the time Tiny Bubbles came out, that just put him on the map.
Cool.
And my final words about him, the reason I have an invested interest in Don Ho, I contacted his family when I recorded my CD. And my CD, Lean On Me, Jeannie Marie, is dedicated to the memory of Don Ho.
Oh, very cool.
It says right here, I'd like to dedicate this CD to the memory of Don Ho, Hawaiian singer who crooned this way in the hearts of the world with his biggest hit, Tiny Bubbles.
Very cool. And do you like Don Ho that much? You decided to dedicate it to him?
Yeah, I dedicated my piano CD to the memory of Don Ho. I just thought he was a perfect person to do that because he was just such a clean entertainer.
Yeah.
In comparison.
Bubbles.
He just shot the bubbles up when he did his concerts, as you saw in that
very
clip.
simple but unique and awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just lived his life in Hawaii singing those fun little songs.
Cool. I like that, Asaph. That's really neat. And
Thank
so
you.
what did his family say when you called him?
They just appreciated me dedicating my CD to his memory. So whenever you see this CD, you'll see the information on the back.
Cool.
Can you hold up to that camera right there?
Yeah.
Asaph's CD.
This
Buy
is
it
my
now.
CD, Lean On Me, Jeannie Marie, which is dedicated to the memory of Don Ho.
Nice.
That's really cool, Asaph. Very cool.
Thank
and,
you.
Where do you sell these? Where can people pick those up?
Well, they can either contact me at my email, asaph@hotmail.com, or contact Morgan Roth Music. There should be some copies
Very cool.
there.
Cool.
Good to know. Yeah,
All
thanks,
right.
Asaph.
So you have more events
Yes.
happening tomorrow,
Yes.
Thursday.
These are all Thursday events. So if I
14th.
accidentally say today, don't listen to that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
'Cause
I'll
I
just like
definitely do
correct
that.
you. It's like tomorrow. I'll just like say here tomorrow. Thursday.
I don't know. I do
16th.
that. My brain works faster
No,
than my
it's-
mouth. So
It's the 14th tomorrow.
No, it's not.
Today's the 13th.
No, it's not.
It's
Today's
not.
the 15th.
No, today's the 15th. So
Stop.
tomorrow's the 16th.
I'm confused already.
Tomorrow's the 16th.
It is. Right?
That's good. I'm glad it's Wednesday.
Yeah, me too.
It's better than Monday.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday. Or
Very
even Sunday.
true,
Actually,
very
Sunday
true.
would be great.
Sunday. Okay, so up next, Thursday events. So this weekend starts the 2015 UC Spring Art Fair. So UC is hosting the art fair again, where they have a bunch of different tables, a bunch of different vendors. They all sell like ceramics, jewelry, fabric, knit scarves and hats. There'll be a prize raffle. They'll also have live music from UM students and Montana natives, as well as Stephanie Quist. It's free and open to the public, but the things aren't free that they're selling. Yeah.
So it's going to be 9 to 6 p.m.
Yep, so it'll be 9 to 6 p.m.
And they close early on Saturdays.
So 9 from 6 p.m., 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday.
And it's
but
gonna be in the UC Center?
Yes.
The UC Center?
UC Center.
The UC Center.
Yeah, so Thursday and Friday, 16th through 17th, 9 to 6, and then Saturday, 10 to 4.
If you
So it's
wonder what the
going on all
UC
weekend.
Center is, it stands for University Center, and it's located near the tennis courts at the University of Montana. It's probably one of the closest places to the AM, right next to Jesse Hall. Where's the Aber?
That's Aber. It's right next
Right
to
to
Aber
the
Hall.
Aber Hall, and it's
Yeah.
next to that smokestack. You can't miss it.
Yeah, pretty sweet. Up next, we've got Montana Natural History Center's Mini Naturalist Program.
What?
This goes on every Thursday at 10 a.m. And so they have fun exploring. They're going to explore springtime surprises through songs, stories, and hands-on science.
And this is if your kid wants to skip school and
Yeah.
still want to make him learn.
Yeah. $3 for non-members, $1 for members, but adults are in for free. The only thing.
That's the nice thing about school is like I could go grocery shopping. I don't see any little kids running around. And it's like this is nice.
This is great.
This is great. Adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I do see kids like out of school
I'm
during
just
the
like-
day, I'm like,
I just see out their mom.
why aren't you in school?
And then their mom calls the police, and I'm just taken away.
It's happened a couple
What are
times.
you doing?
Well, Well, there was this kid that I asked. It was like a Friday, and he wasn't in school, and I was like, "Why aren't you in school?" And he was like, "I have Fridays off. They only do."
Yes.
Yeah,
They
do
have that.
Monday
They have
through
like
Thursday.
senior study hall sometimes.
Well, it was out in Potomac. I guess Potomac School.
Yes, a lot of a lot of C and D
Yeah.
schools take off Fridays because they have to travel so far for their sports.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
But they get like an extra week of school.
Yeah, and then I know that the school day's longer too. It's from like 7 to 4 or something
Okay.
like that. Yeah,
That's
But it's only
tolerable.
4 days. That's kind of nice. Like
That
a
is kinda
3-day
nice.
weekend. Man, I wish we. Well, I guess I kind of do have that.
All right, let's
okay, yeah,
continue.
back to events. Okay, Missoula Public Library has their Tiny Tales. This is for ages birth through 36 months, so birth to 3. Participants will sing songs, learn finger plays, nursery rhymes, and hear stories. It's usually held in the large meeting room, and signs will be posted if it's held elsewhere. Spectrum Discovery Area, they've got their Discovery Benches sound, and the Brain Lab is glowing cells. As always, it's $3.50 for anyone 4 and over. There is a beginning fencing class, ages 6 to 8, at the Missoula Fencing Association. This is over on the west side on Shakespeare Street. So, as a sport, fencing develops coordination, core strength, critical thinking, and discipline. During the 6 weeks class, the youngest swashbucklers will learn the I know that was in there. Will learn the basics of fencing in an atmosphere focused on fun and development of coordination.
Why do they just make the description is that you get to hit people with metal swords?
It's called physical chess. People think of fencing as physical chess. That was in there too, but I didn't.
We get a
read
bit.
it.
Well, okay. So if your kid is violent and you want your kid to get some of that anger out,
Take them to fencing.
They'll hit each other with metal sticks, and don't worry, it's dulled, and they wear padding.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I mean, just think that's a better sell than just saying, "Oh, a lot of these words."
Let's get realistic.
Let's
with
get
it.
real. All right, so
your angry kid is gonna.
let's talk
hit
about
some
your
other
favorite
kid.
event that you've never been to.
No, I'm not done yet. So this class meets Thursdays from 3:15 to 4 for 6 weeks. And then to register, you can go to missoulafencing.net or call 251-4623. Up next is my favorite event that I've never been to, but I still want to go to, is Read Dogs. It's, you can read to reading education assistance dogs. Well, they'll just sit there and they'll let you read to them and they'll be all sweet. I bet they'll even let you lay on them. I love dogs. I want to go to that. It's from 3 to 4.
What are those tiny doggies and you lay on them and they just like smother them?
They can take it.
But don't read to
But how-
Dachshunds. Dachshunds
yeah.
are jerks.
Dachshunds hate reading books.
No, they just like one person. They hate everyone else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how they seem to work.
It's those wiener dogs.
It's like
right?
yeah.
Those dogs are weird.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. Okay, so, but it's from 3 to 4, Dragon Rug in the children's area. Up next is Lego Club, happening at the same time. It says it's in the Dragon Rug and the children's area, but most of the time, it used to say that it was in one of the meeting rooms, so I would go and ask and find out. But that's from 3:30 to 5. Lego and Duplo pieces are provided, and children under 12 have to be accompanied by an adult.
Yeah, I mean the Dragon Rug is a lot smaller, and usually they put it in the conference room with
That's
too many kids.
that's what I thought too. Yeah, so yeah, I would just go and ask and find out. Missoula Christian Montessori School has an open house starting tomorrow at 4. They're a nonprofit Christian Montessori school serving children ages 3 to 6. Their open house is Thursday, April 16th, 4 to 7. Saturday, April 18th, 10 to 2. Thursday, May 14th, 4 to 7.
Does Montessori kind of sound like a pasta?
Yeah, it does.
It's like, pasta.
They're gonna make your kids into pasta.
And the body of Christ is like bow tie pasta.
Yeah.
When you're
Made
done
from
eating
real
some
Christ.
Italian pasta, have some Italian wine. If not Italian, it's Montana wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to segue. Trying
Thanks.
to keep things going.
Thanks.
So, anyways, talk about wine.
Okay, so there's some wine tastings, as Scott nicely mentioned. 4 p.m. tomorrow is 10 Spoon Vineyard and Winery. They have got a wine tasting going on. You can enjoy wine by the glass or Flight, which is 4 small tasters. They have antipasto plates by Biga Pizza, free breadsticks, and the wonderful atmosphere.
So if you have pasta, then you can have antipasta.
And then you get breadsticks.
It cancels out.
Yeah.
But then the breadsticks just like
Yeah,
fill
so
you
go
up.
and eat some pasta at the Montessori school, and then go drink some wine and eat some antipasta, and you'll be fine. Up next is another wine tasting. There's a drop-in downtown wine tasting. This is at Ligrata Bella, which is underneath the Old Post Pub. It's a minimum of 4 wines. It's a different theme each week, and $10 to just drop in. Ooh.
And this is if you want to bypass the whole pasta thing.
Yeah, if you just don't even want to do pasta and you just
want
drink a
straight
bunch
wine.
of wine. Yeah. Mudslide Charlie is going to play at Draftworks Brewing Company tomorrow at 6. Good Food Store has got a cooking class. It's roll up your sleeves, hands-on knife skills. This is tomorrow at 6:30, $35 or it's $90, and the $90 fee includes a 8-inch chef's knife, which is a $90 value. So you're getting a deal.
Learn how to use a knife.
So Romaine's Graham Roy is going to return to demonstrate cutlery basics from sharpening and maintenance tips to a variety of hands-on demonstrations. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to learn caring for your own chef's knife and basic cuts and more advanced skills. They're going to make a garden salad with herb vinaigrette, Mediterranean vegetable soup, sweet potato fries with garlic herb sauce.
Cool.
That sounds great. Yeah. And then there is another beginning fencing class. This is for ages 9 to 18.
What?
Starts at 6:30 at the Missoula Fencing Association tomorrow. It's also a 6-week class. They will learn the
So
basics.
if you miss the morning class, you can take the night class.
But that's only 6 to 8. That's ages 6 to 8 for the morning class, and this is an older class. Yeah. So students will learn the basics of fencing with 2 weapon styles, épée and foil. Class meets Thursday 6:38 for 6 weeks, and there's also a free week of fencing club membership after the 6-week program. So, like I said earlier, you can MissoulaFencing.net to register. 251-4623 is the phone number. And then there is a movie at the Roxy Theater. It's called Wild China. It's presented by Adventure Life. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts showing at 7. This is free. And so it's put on by BBC, and it reveals little-known natural treasures and secret wildlife havens of China's wildest regions. After the films, there'll be time to mingle with community members as well as Chinese students from the University of Montana, and you can get their first-hand experience of their culture and what it's like transitioning to our culture. Adventure Life staff will be able to answer any questions about any other destinations. Appetizers are provided by China Buffet. Beer, wine, and organic popcorn for purchase at concessions. You can RSVP at their Facebook event, facebook.com/events. It's a bunch of numbers, so just type in Wild China presented by Adventure Life, and I'm sure you can find the event page.
Doesn't one of your friends work at China Buffet?
No, China Bowl.
China Bowl. It's different.
It's not a buffet. It's just a straight bowl.
You put all your Chinese food in a bowl. And
it's really funny. She tells me really funny stories about that place. But hey, everyone, thanks for leading that segue. China Bowl is hiring, all right?
Oh.
So if you need a job, China Bowl is hiring. Yeah.
I know, she posted online.
Yeah.
It's like, China.
Yes, China Bowl is hiring, and they need people. Okay, and then my very last event is kind of around the one I've been talking about all week. You know, we've got Andy Warhol's pictures in the Missoula Art Museum, and everyone is super excited about it. And there have been lots of events going on around it. So this event is Lecture, Portraits That You Can't Mess Up, Andy Warhol's Big Shot Photographs. 7 p.m. free. Valerie Heidequist, who's a professor of art history and criticism, is going to talk about Andy Warhol's photographs. It's free and open to everyone. 7 p.m. at the Missoula Art Museum tomorrow. So that's what's going on tomorrow. As always, you can check out MissoulaEvents.net. You can go on to the Independent, check out the newspaper, and check out the University of Montana's website for their events too. There's lots of outlets for people to find out what's going on. Yeah, but we're going to transition over to City Council. What's going on with that, Scott?
Well, City Council, we had 2 public comments from people complaining about the circus that was in town last weekend.
Yeah.
About the cruelty to animals, and this is what they had to say.
Mm-hmm.
For kids. I have a 7-year-old, and there's free tickets that are passed out to all the Missoula County public schools. I don't feel like this is a good educational experience. I think there's plenty more in the Missoula community that kids can be doing, peas farm parties, tons of stuff. So hopefully we will see you in the near future.
Thank you. And then the next person was, I couldn't really clearly get this name, but it's I I think her name is Spider McKnight.
Okay, yeah, totally. That is definitely her name. My boyfriend used to work with her at the Humane Society.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's gonna agree with Miss Ender. She has her own things to say about it as well.
Here I am again saying it's 2015. We're trucking in wild animals. We're bringing them into our basketball stadium with sharp hooks and teaching our kids that cruelty to animals is just okay. So one thing I love about you guys in the City Council is that you're constantly seeing wrongs and you're finding ways to right them. So I'm here to say, please do that again. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was all that was the basic public comment that kind of like stood out.
Totally. I know there was a big protest there too.
Yeah.
Bunch of people. Yeah. I know, that's awful. You know, elephants don't belong in...
They got rid of the elephants.
Oh, good.
A lot of the circuses, Ringling Brothers Circus, got rid of the
Good.
elephants completely. They stopped doing it. That's the first step. So it's going to be
going
to
right
that
direction.
point.
It's
But
just
I think it's
taking
just mostly a lot of human acts. It seems like less animal acts.
Good.
That's what I've noticed. Like, I was there about like 10, 15 years ago. The only thing that was spectacular about animals was elephants.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they didn't have like tigers or anything like that. I think they stopped doing tigers a long time ago.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So anyways, Mayor John Engen presents a various number of proclamations. The first one is the telecommunication week for 911 operators. He's presented them because they work tirelessly 24/7 to keep everyone safe and calling the right officer to come down and protect and serve. And here's what...
Or arrest.
Okay, so this is his proclamation.
The telecommunicators who work in 911 display a superior level of commitment, dedication, and professionalism in accomplishing their mission of receiving calls for help from citizens, then dispatching emergency response agencies and maintaining a communication link with the responders for safety purposes. And whereas those same telecommunicators often work extraordinarily long hours and difficult schedules to provide the service to the public and ensure the safety of responders, but often go unrecognized. Now, therefore, I, John Engen, Mayor of the City of Missoula and the State of Montana, do hereby recognize the week of April 12th through 18th, 2015, as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week.
Yep. So that's what it was.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yep.
Sounds awesome.
Okay, so then this next one is that he's given a proclamation to Young Child Week, or Week of the Young Child.
Week of the Young Child.
Oh shoot.
Hang on. Technical difficulties.
There we go.
Okay.
Whereas all young children and their families across the country and in Missoula, Montana, deserve access to a strong start with high-quality early care and education, and whereas in recognizing and supporting the people, programs, and policies that are committed to high-quality early childhood education as the right choice for kids, now, therefore, I, John Engen, Mayor of the City of Missoula in the State of Montana, do hereby proclaim April 12th through 18th, 2015 in Missoula as Week of the Young Child.
Okay.
Cool.
And then, of course, this last proclamation, there's a lot of proclamations going on.
Where's Young Adult Week? When is that?
Never.
When it's Craft Beer Week?
Yep. And this next one is all about the International Choral Festival. So here it is.
As between 1987 and 2013, the International Choral Festival has welcomed more than 5,500 singers from 45 countries, and whereas the International Choral Festival has delighted, inspired, and entertained Missoula audiences for more than 27 years, and whereas the Missoula community has supported the Choral Festival not only with money and volunteers, but has also opened their hearts and homes for visiting choirs, and whereas planning is well underway for Missoula's 10th International Choral Festival in July 2016, and whereas KPAX Television will broadcast Raise Your Voice, a 1-hour live telethon on Saturday, April 18th, 2015, starting at 6 p.m. in order to raise money and build support for the 2016 Choral Festival. Now, therefore, I, John Engen, Mayor of the City of Missoula in the State of Montana, do hereby proclaim April 18th, 2015 in Missoula as Support the International Choral Festival Day.
All right. And those are all the special proclamations.
Awesome.
And of course, I can't do a city council meeting without talking about some interesting things happening with without an expansion of a casino that they're trying to do.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. But Diamond Gyms came under fire because a lot of people were protesting the expansion of that facility, and it's mostly the people in the neighborhood. And this is Mr. Corey Cody, and he's one of the members of the community who are concerned about Diamond Gym expansion, and this is what he had to say.
When the Diamond Gym's property was approved over neighborhood opposition, we saw a dramatic increase in petty crime. Vehicle break-ins became frequent. Domestic disturbances spilling over from the casino became a periodic, not a weekly, but they happen. And they happen pretty routinely. As a landlord there, I have 8 apartments, and I'm hearing complaints from my tenants. Diamond Gyms has not been a good neighbor from day one, not because of anything they're doing in particular, but just from the clientele. Adding another casino, it's just going to make it worse. I wish I had 20 people here, but after the Diamond Gym fiasco, none of the neighborhood really feels like they have a voice in this issue, and I would really ask the council to turn this project down. It's not going to make anybody move away, but honestly, it cuts into our safety, it cuts into our lifestyle, cuts into the happiness of just being there.
All right, and that's what Corey Cody had to say about it.
That's the Diamond Gyms that's up on the corner of Broadway, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not, where are his apartments? Like, how close is it to that? Because I thought it was, by a highway.
There's just a couple of business owners, and there is an apartment complex, right behind Diamond Gyms. Didn't you see it?
No.
It's that really tall white building. If you go on Toole Street, you'll see a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Because Diamond Gyms is between Toole and Broadway.
I'm thinking of something else.
Okay, so this is Candy Matthew Jenkins,
Never mind, then.
and she's talking about the evils of alcohol. And this is what she had to say about this casino and just basically alcohol in general.
Booze here, booze for baseball, booze for this, booze for that. So if you want your entry drug into drugs, you got booze. All the time. Alcohol, beer, wine, whiskey, alcohol, everywhere you go. Every place is a brewery, every place is a casino, and people are trying to raise their children in this city. You have basically destroyed this city with the way you allow this building and stuff to go on. Look at that hideous thing that's across from Diamond Gyms, if that's what it was, at Noons or whatever it is. Look at that thing that was up here earlier. Look at that. That's not even a big enough place to put a complex like that. It dwarfs the whole thing. The solstice and the equinox just totally obliterate Lolo Peak. And you want kids growing up here? This has been my kids' story. This is my kids' story. This is a bunch of kids' story. Alcohol. Montana should just have a big booze bash every year so everybody can get drunk. We've got all these people, and all you want to do is put bars and casinos in, breweries in. What kind of a town is this? It's a fun town, and it's getting funner and funner.
All right, so she goes on and on about that, but
that lady's going
Actually, miss, there are several booze bashes every year.
There are a lot of booze bashes. Okay,
so I was thinking of the Diamond Gyms that's on the corner of Broadway and Higgett, or Broadway and Van Buren.
Huh.
That's why I was all confused. But now I understand. Yeah, that's like
okay.
In
So
a
this is
neighborhood.
Jim Nugent.
Okay.
He rarely ever responds to anything, but he's also responded to the allegations about how crime has increased and all that stuff. And there's no this is what he has to say in response to a lot of these people saying that crime is worse now because of the casino.
Okay.
I would think that maybe you want to talk with the police chief and have them verify some of the allegations that are being made rather than just take barefaced allegations that are being made about issues that are allegedly arising in the community. I wouldn't be comfortable relying on allegations that have no substantiation, and that might require sending it to committee in order to get the police department to comment on whether it's been a significant rise in crime since the one across the street started, but it is a different business. With respect to the number of licenses, the Montana State Legislature determines that, and we have to accommodate them somewhere, someplace. If you want to control where they're at, you have some flexibility that way through zoning, but you have to authorize that number somewhere in the community.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah.
Jim Nugent had to say.
Well, that's smart. You gotta if you are making those allegations, you do have to have backing.
Yeah, this is Mike Alonzo. He's the owner of Hoagieville off Broadway, and he talks about the new Palvarella and how the city has been doing a great job. So basically, he's saying pro to the city and like how he's been afraid that the Palvarella Center, since it's being moved over there, that there'd be a lot of issues. But this is what he had to say in favor of the city doing a good job.
And I have to tell you that we've been open, almost 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and we have not had one problem. Not one person has come into the lot and, tried to panhandle or give the girls crap or, anyway, I just want to thank the city for that.
Okay, so.
Cool, yeah. Well, it's nice to, I'm sure the city appreciates positive
So
feedback.
this whole expansion of this place in particular was back to committee, which is going to be scheduled for April 22nd. So if you have any concerns about the Diamond Gym expansion, you can get your voice heard at the committee meetings. And I think a lot of the bulk things get done during the committee meetings.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's always good to go through the details and get things through, because that's the committee meetings are for, and they happen every Wednesday. And it's going to be the Land Use and Planning Committee. That happens usually like the third or fourth meeting in the day. So look for that in the afternoon next Wednesday, April 22nd. So we have a last comment from Ed Childers, one of the council members, responding to the comments that were made about the booze culture in Missoula. This is what he had to say.
There's a concept of neighborhood bars that is kind of a good thing because it gives people a place to get together and visit with their neighbors. And if you spread the bars out, and I don't talk about casinos, I talk about bars because that's what we license, spread them out, you get a lower concentration of drinkers in the bars, and I think that's probably worthwhile. So I understand nobody wants a bar in their neighborhood, but most everybody wants a bar somewhere. So I think spreading them out probably a good deal.
Yeah.
Wise words, Ed. That's funny.
I mean, it got from expanded diamond gyms into the whole prohibition talk, all over again. It's
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes this is how city council can sometimes get carried away. It's good to talk about it, and the whole expansion thing might be a little inappropriate and premature at the time, but this going back to committee, and you can check it out. Most of the other items in the meeting were approved.
Awesome.
Like water acquisition thing,
Yeah.
just the typical stuff. The police chief was reinstated, and a new officer was added as well to the city police, which is great.
Don't do anything bad. They're doubling forces.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. That's okay.
Don't do anything bad. I was like, what?
They're doubling forces.
Doubling forces.
I'm talking about the cops. Don't get arrested.
Don't get arrested?
That's
I think that's just in general term for anyone.
That's just my advice to everyone for today. All right.
All right. So that concludes my city council of the day.
I think that concludes our show as well.
Nice.
I'm about done.
Yeah, I'm about done too.
Yeah, I got to
Let's end our show where we're basically just pretending like we're talking even though we're not. Kind of like at the end of a news story.
Yeah.
So let's just fade out and just do that.
Well, thanks everyone.
Well, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you Friday.
Yeah, see ya.